There's a saying that I use from time to time. It's more of a prayer. And it goes something like this. It says, Lord, thank you for keeping me from the fear that shrinks from new truth. And keeps me from the being satisfied with a half-truth. And above all, Lord, don't let me have any arrogance that thinks it knows all truth. When it comes to truth, it's hard for people to understand what is and what isn't truth. Because we've been fed, hand-fed, I might add, by so-called authority figures, ministers, scientists, and brilliant people, things that later on have proved not to be quite so true. And then we wonder about that. It makes you wonder. And pretty soon, I've even seen some of the fundamental preachers say they're not sure whether there is a God or not. But they go on preaching, and they go on telling you that you're doing things wrong, and you need to be forgiven, and you need to be saved. I've always wondered what they're saving them for or from, but they've got to be saved, got to know that. Well, they're taking part of a truth and taking a half-truth and really aggrandizing it, making it better than it is or worse than it is, depending upon what they want to do and what they want to say. And the same with science. Science for a while talked about the atom would be the smallest thing. We'll never find anything smaller than an atom, and everything is composed of atoms. Well, they've divided the atom to date into over 10 different little bitty things. And some of these little bitty things have been divided, that's what makes up the 10, into other little things. So what is truth? Well, I said last week, and I hope you remember, that I said the basic truth never changes. The basic truth. Well, the basic truth is simply this. We were created. There is an intelligent energy out there that seems to command and control all creation. And then I've had people say, well, if that's a fact and there's a supreme intelligence, or a God if you please, why does he let bad things happen to good people? Well, you know, bad things can happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere. But that's because of choices that we make. We make the choice of what we want to do and how we want to do it, and sometimes when and where we want to do it. And that's what controls our life. That's what makes our life. And God loved you so much that he gave you that godlike ability to make your own choices. If you make a bad choice, that's you. And if you feel you need to be punished, that's you. That's not God. Oh, sure, God did reward. He created and he punished to begin with, because he was in the process of creation, and those things happened. And then you say, well, if he's in the process of creation, why do we have so many earthquakes and eruptions of volcanoes and tsunami waves and winds and on and on and on? Well, that's part of creation. That's part of it. It's an ongoing thing. And we too are an ongoing creation. I want you to remember that you are in charge of your own life. And to be in control of your own life, it simply matters to taking the right choices. But that's only the beginning. After the choice you take, you must follow it with the proper action. You know, and you need a lot of preparation for that. That's why you watch things like this, or you go to church, or you go to school, is because it's preparation. Now, I said in the beginning that we get a lot of false information from both the schools and the churches. In particular, let's take the schools. Every country teaches history from their viewpoint of that subject. Back in the 60s, don't know if you remember this, they had a little battle between Egypt and Israel. Oh, there it goes again. And of course, it was announced that Israel won. It was over in 6 days, the 6-day war, and no doubt about it. Well, a few months later, we were in Egypt, and they were celebrating their victory. Get the idea? It was from their viewpoint. How do you get the right viewpoint? By doing what you're doing today. Thinking for yourself. Going into things, studying things, make them a part of you. If you have any questions you're not sure about, there's always people that'll give you answers, even people like me. Don't claim all my answers are right, but they are inspired. God bless you, and thank you for letting me share a little of the very little knowledge that I have.